Yay, happy May 1st. Yeah, we're wet. And right now we're getting a couple hours of somewhat sunshine before the next rain comes. So I'm over in the shop right now. I dumped 2 inches out of the rain gauge for Saturday and Sunday's worth. I'll show you this on my phone. So as you can see, tomorrow they're only talking a high of around 51. It's supposed to keep raining today. Right now we're in a little lull. Wednesday, 48. By Thursday, it's just supposed to be cloudy. Rain's not, we're not supposed to get any. By the end of the week, we're supposed to get to where we probably should be for this time of year, temperature-wise. And by hopefully the 9th and 10th of May, that 35% doesn't equal anything. So that maybe we can get planting by next week, because I'm not sure it'll be this weekend. I just went over to Scotty's place with the gator to see what it looks like over there with, you got shit on the lens, bear with me, for where we were burying those rock islands. I took the gator because there was no driving a pickup down in there. And it's chilly this morning. It's only in the upper 40s. It's wet, very wet. And of course, like I said, it's supposed to rain later today again, tomorrow, Wednesday, and when it's 49, 50 degrees or so, yeah, shit don't dry up. So, I don't know. But, so maybe I'll just make this a bitchin' video, seeing some of you like the bitchin' videos just as much as you do the farming videos. And here's something I'm going to bitch about, our wonderful public education system. So we got our little pamphlet in the mail the other day, because like I said, today's May 1st. So in 2 weeks, I think it's the 14th of May, we vote on our local school budget over here at our little rural school that we don't know exactly how many students there are because they don't tell us anymore. They used to write it on that thing that they sent out, but they don't anymore because, the number keeps dropping. So they don't want you to know that. But the last I heard, it was 700 and something, below 800 students. Now, when I was in school, of course, we're talking 40 years ago, we had somewhere between 1,200 and 1,300 kids, 1,250, something like that. About a $6 million budget. I realize things today are more expensive and whatnot, but now we have 700 and some students, and we have a $24 million budget. Okay, so if you do simple math and call it 800 students into $24 million, that's $30,000 per student for a little fucking rural community school to indoctrinate them, basically, is what it amounts to. And these rural schools probably got better teachers in them that don't indoctrinate as much as the city schools do, obviously. And I'm not saying every teacher sucks, so don't get your panties in a bunch, teachers, because there's still some good teachers out there, but they're getting few and far between. But $30,000 per student. That's just proposition 1. Then we got 2 where, we're going to spend somewhere, I think it was 360 some thousand, somewhere between 300 and 400,000 for new buses. We always get new buses every year, which tells me we're getting rid of buses sooner than what we probably should. They don't have that many miles on them. And then they go down south and, they run them for another 10 years, but that's okay. Then they want another $10 million for a slush fund, basically, to let our dictator superintendent do as he damn well pleases with, because they don't even say what it's for. It's just for any future projects, So let's put $10 million of our money in the bank for whatever he feels like doing. And I say that because our school board, and I don't care, I know a lot of them will see this or hear about this, and I don't give a shit because our school board does nothing. Every vote is 7-0 for whatever he wants. Oh, and by the way, just so you know, he was going to leave this school. He went to apply here a few years back at the Skinny Atlas, which is on Skinny Atlas Lake. Those of you local understand. Skinny Atlas is kind of the ritzy town, with the expensive homes on the lake and all that. Well, he went there because that job paid more, but yet he didn't get it. So we gave him a pay raise for not being good enough to get another job somewhere else. Yeah, we gave him a pay raise to stay. So, but every vote is 7-0, 7-0. You've heard me bitch like on the legislature when, votes are 14-1 and I'm the one. So it's mind-numbing what our public school systems today in this country, they're just like government, which sucks. We all know that, because they don't have to run like a business, even though they should, because if they need more money, they just get it from the taxpayers. And there's where I'm going to piss some people off here locally, and I really don't fucking care, because like I've said before, same thing in government. Therein lies the problem. After a while, you got to stop blaming government. You got to stop blaming the school systems for taking everything they can take, because it's the dumbasses that walk into the voting booth and vote yes and give them everything that they want. So it's insane. I struggle to think and realize that I really do live in a society full of a lot of ignorant, naive, call them stupid, whatever, people who just go along with all this bullshit. It's pure insanity. I mean, a high school education today is starting to cost what colleges charge for an education. And as we know, like I said, most of it is pure indoctrination. But as long as the stupid, naive, whatever you want to call them, people just keep checking the box and saying, go ahead, do whatever you want, they're gonna, plain and simple. And I'm quite sure that, part of this extra $10 million that they want and whatnot will probably end up with artificial turf field, like a lot of the high schools are doing, even the small, like I said, rural ones and whatnot. We'll piss it away on something stupid like that, even though a lot of college and professional teams are getting away from that because, follow the science that we've all heard about for the last 3 years. The science says that there's more, young athletes that are getting concussions and stuff from the artificial turf falling on that than they are natural grass fields. And, not to mention all the science over the years about the knee injuries and shit like that. But yet around here, these schools can't get enough kids to field all their sports teams. So what they end up doing is combining with another school. So 2 schools that might be, who knows, anywhere from 8 to 10 to 20 miles away are combining to make a wrestling team, combining to make a football team, combining to make a girls softball team, whatever. Because, we have to have freaking 100 sports to start with, which I'm all for the kids playing sports, don't get me wrong. But if you can't get enough kids to field a sporting team and you have to combine with another school, why are we continuing to grow, supposedly, our schools? I mean, this school over here, our school, we closed one of the sections down because there's not enough kids. Because when they added on over the years, they knew, they had the demographic studies that showed the population was going to continue to decrease. They didn't give a shit. They just kept adding on. So now we've closed one of the parts off and are supposedly renting it out to the Cayuga Onondaga BOCES to use. I mean, it's utterly insane. The money, because public schools, like I said, are just like the government. They just piss money away because when they want more, they get it from the taxpayers. If things were run like a business, which I know people argue, you can't run government and schools like a business. Bullshit, you can't. Yeah, you can't if you don't, want to do what's right and do things efficiently. But it's utterly insane, folks. So I don't know about anybody else, but I just want our school systems to go back to teaching, the old saying, the 3 R's, reading, writing, and arithmetic. I mean, today it seems to be everything but, CRT, the critical race theory, Just all sorts of social agenda bullshit. And I don't know where some of you live, but if you live in a libtard state like I do here in New York, and like Jeff in Illinois, and some of you in California, I mean, they've lowered the standards because of equality reasons so that, basically they can push everyone through. And I read a thing in California where kids are coming out of school basically reading and writing on a third or fourth grade level. But let's not forget, we don't teach cursive writing anymore neither. I don't know, apparently you can print your name to sign a contract or write a check or something, because cursive writing was so horrible, just terrible to teach. Like I said, folks, until the people wake the fuck up, it's not going to change. It's complete insanity. Back when the Department of Education and whatnot came up with this no child left behind thing, all that did was dumb down our education, because instead of having standards to try and make them reach, we just lowered all the standards so that we didn't leave anyone behind. Oh no, okay, we didn't leave anybody behind. Instead, we pushed them all out into society being dumber than shit in plain English. I mean, makes no sense, folks. But so there, you got a bitchin' video in the middle of spring. Well, kind of towards the beginning of spring, because we are definitely on hold for probably at least close to a week. So check out the Grumpy Farmer Apparel link, and hopefully we'll see you in the next one, which will be more farming again. Oh, and one more thing. Yes, you guessed it, because I just thought of this. So tell me if you see this in your state too, because we see it in the libtard states, obviously. These teachers and these administrators, that are making $200,000 a year or close to it at these small rural schools and whatnot, when they retire at a fairly young age, let's remember, and suck off the taxpayer's tit for the rest of their life with a pretty damn healthy retirement package, including, don't forget the benefits and whatnot. They don't usually, not all of them, but quite a lot of them don't stay in states like New York or Illinois or California, or like I said, the libtard states. No, they move south somewheres where the taxes aren't so bad and whatnot, so that they can really enjoy their retirement that they're getting from us taxpayers. They ought to be forced to stay here. No different than our current superintendent. We used to have rules at this school that we just completely ignore now, where you had to live in the school district if you were the superintendent of this school. Now, he doesn't live a long ways out of it. He lives in Baldwinsville, which is like, I don't know, between 12 to 15 miles from that school. But it's not in our school district. It's not even in our county that this school is in. But we okay that, we don't make them live in the school district. Maybe if you did, they'd actually want to stay a little longer rather than stay for, 4 or 5 years and then go apply for another job. Because does that tell you how much they really care about the school system when they're constantly trying to apply for the next job? So, yeah, there's your one more thing. Tell me how it happens in your area. All right, you are going to get a second more thing here, because I was just, Barb does all the editing of the videos, but I was just rewatching what I've filmed, so I need to clarify something before somebody jumps down my ass. When I was talking about the $200,000 a year, that's the administrators. That's the higher-ups in the schools, okay? No teacher at our rural schools are making $200,000 a year. But we just had a gym teacher retire here not too many years ago that was making $100,000 a year as a gym teacher. Yeah, we've got, principals that make between $80,000 and $100,000 a year. We have other teachers that are making, $70,000, $80,000, $90,000 a year. Like I said, gym teacher retired at 100. So it's not a bad gig compared to what maybe it used to be when I was in school. that when, teachers probably were underpaid. But I don't know about other areas. I'm just speaking for here. Out here in rural America, upstate New York, they don't get paid so bad. I mean, I don't think any teacher starts less than $50,000 a year with benefits. And, you're working 2/3 of the year. I mean, so, and I don't begrudge the ones that are doing it for all the right reasons, that are good teachers. But to pay an administrator in these small rural schools, so anywhere between $150,000 to $250,000 a year, I think is insane. To be a dictator and, destroy our school systems in plain English. I know people are going to disagree, and some people in this area are going to think, oh, our schools are great. Well, our school is probably better than a lot of them out there, but we're still spending $30,000 per student per year, pissing money away. If your student numbers go down, shouldn't your employee numbers stop going up and also start going down considerably? But no, it doesn't happen. And like I said, the demographic studies, because my Uncle Lyle, who's been passed away now for 3 years or whatever, 3 or 4 years, sat on that school board for years, and he said it was always, at least when he was on, the votes were 6-1, because he'd vote no. But he used to tell us, they've had the demographic studies for years showing that the population was going to continue to keep decreasing, but yet they kept adding on. So it's time to start running some of this shit, our school systems and our government, like a business, rather than just carte blanche, do what you want. Oh, you need more? Taxpayers will pony up. That's why states like this state are losing population, because people can't afford to live here. But Micron's going to save us. They're coming to New York. Now I'm done.